Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Stevens Road tract, and let me tell you, it is just long overdue. It's about time we talked about this. I've been meaning to make a video about this for years, but maybe it was for the best because the Stevens Tract Road complex has been in a perpetual state of change for years. And it still kind of is as well, but at least now I kind of feel I can get my arms around it. So we're gonna jump in and talk about it right now. We're gonna bring you some history, some amenities, some builders, a little bit of an update on where we're at in phase 2 as well as phase 1. Yep, I'll explain all that later too. Because if we need anything here in Bend the most, we need new construction housing and affordable housing at that. This whole Stevens Ranch complex is going to be one of the largest master plan developments in the entire state of Oregon, which is going to be really good for Central Oregon and for housing. So we've got a lot of information to cover. We're going to go ahead and jump in right now. Okay, so Stevens Ranch, well, what's it all about? It's this chunk of land over here, just off of Stevens Road. It's a huge chunk, 640 acres, in mostly a square shape that had been BLM since 1859. 1859? In 1997, this particular chunk of land was transferred to the Oregon Department of State Lands. This was step 1. Then further in 2007, the Department of State Lands, DSL, proposed a master plan development. However, it wasn't until 2016 that the most recent upgrade of the UGB, urban growth boundary, was actually able to annex some of this land into the city of Bend for development. Well, the first phase anyway, the first 382 acres. Hold on, let's explain that a bit. You see, this particular chunk of land is actually split up into 2 sections. The first is what I was just talking about, 382 acres that was brought into the city in 2016 under the UGB laws in 2016. Now the second phase of this is actually 282 acres, and that was, we're not going to talk about that yet. We're going to get to that later, though, I promise. So the DSL takes all that master planned land, got plans for it, ready to go, and they actually sell it to a developer back in 2020. And then, of course, in 2021, the plan was approved by the city, and we are off and running. That was a long time coming. Seriously, it took a long time. And so here we are. The first 382 acres are really starting to take shape. We've got loads of infrastructure here, and we have 2 builders, Stonebridge and DR Horton, building currently. But before we talk about the builders and the homes here, why would anybody even want to live here? What is out here on this side of town? Well, being on the southeast side of town, you've got really quick, great access just up the road to the Forum Shopping Center. Although if you're not living here, you're watching this because you're thinking about relocating, you might not know that the Costco, which was kind of one of the big anchor stores of that Forum Shopping Center, is now gone. It's moved. Not gone, just moved. It's on the north side of town now. That's kind of a bummer. But hey, there's still plenty of great shopping and dining businesses there at the Forum intersection, I should say. And not only that, it's just about a mile, okay, maybe 2 miles, straight shot up the road on 27th. Even closer though, we now have Reed South, which is a small little commercial corner that is anchored by a gas station. It's actually one of the first new gas stations I've seen built in Bend in forever. It's also anchored by a brand new Cascade Lakes Brewing Company. I've had lunch there a few times, it's on point. But there are a bunch of other tenants in there as well now. So we've got a Greek Mediterranean place, there's a taco shop, and the all-important coffee shop, of course. Yeah, Reed South is literally across the road, across 27th from the northwestmost corner of Stevens Ranch. So it's just like 100 yards away from the northwestmost corner. But speaking of amenities that are even closer still, actually still under construction, is the Bend Central Library. It's the latest and the greatest. It's going to be huge. It's going to be over 100,000 square feet of indoor and outdoor space. 3 levels of fun, 3 stories. If you've seen some of the renderings, wow. It's gonna be beautiful. Also, a LEED certified building, which means it's super green, energy efficient. That's kind of a Ben Public thing. We're always building green around here. But that's not the only commercial space that's gonna be here in the Stevens Ranch area. According to their master plan, there is almost 100 acres of industrial zoned land. And then let's see, 6 plus 5, there's like 40-ish acres, looks here, of commercially zoned lots, not just industrial, but also commercial. Now, I don't know what's going in there or who they have lined up to go in as far as tenants and shops and stores and stuff, but there's also tons of acreage that's set aside for another amenity that we do here in Bend all the time, parks. Yeah, that's right. Parks and Rec will be maintaining roughly 37 acres here in this area. And according to some of the renderings and some of the preliminary plans that I've seen, they're planning to locate these parks on or near some of the lava cave areas to basically protect them, because there are cool lava tube caves that are in this Stevens Ranch acreage, which is pretty neat. So, shopping, check. Parks, check. Dining, check. Public library, big check. Two other things we have to mention. A, there is a site that they are reserving for a new school. I mean, with all of these homes coming to the area, they're going to need a site for a school. They're going to need to build a new school. And B, the mountain views from this area are incredible. Hey, look, here we are out at Stevens Ranch. Quick time out. Hey, this is a shameless plug to go ahead and invite you to please consider subscribing to this channel. You see, every single week for the past 4 years now, we have been bringing the best Bend news and Central Oregon news to our viewers. We cover everything from recreation to real estate, and I really think that you'll probably get a lot of value out of subscribing and following along with this channel. All you have to do is subscribe, and the best part is it's free. Oh, but don't forget to hit the little bell notification. That part's kind of important. I hate when I interrupt myself. Hey, look, here we are out at Stevens Ranch, and we are rocking and rolling with the first kind of phase of homes to be built out here. Now, I use the word phase lightly because there's absolutely going to be phases within phases. I mean, there's going to be 1,700 homes out here, so just to say phase one doesn't really tell you anything. So here in the first 382-ish acres, we're talking about 650 single-family residences. We're talking about 990 townhomes / apartments, as well as some other duplex and multiplex options as well. And then not to mention, we've got a ton of commercial offerings that we've already kind of mentioned and touched on. The single family homes out here are currently being built by two builders, DR Horton and Stonebridge. Both are large scale builders. Stonebridge actually builds plenty of homes here locally in various price points. I mean, we're talking really high-end Northwest Crossing, Discovery West price points, all the way down to the more median price for the area, which is still a pretty nice home. Stonebridge is headquartered over in Portland, and they build all across the Northwest. DR Horton is actually one of the largest home builders in the entire nation. I mean, they build, I couldn't even say how many. They build all the homes, all right? They also build in various price points as well, but they're more commonly known for their entry-level price point homes. They are actually in control of all of the development of this entire area. You see, they're gonna sell lots off when they need to at strategic moments. In this case, they've sold some of the lots to Stonebridge. Now, DR Horton is gonna offer two different kind of price levels here for this development. The entry level, their lowest level, is gonna be called the Deschutes, and then the step up above that, kind of their nicer version of their homes that they're building, is going to be called the Bachelor Series or Bachelor Line. Deschutes Line, Bachelor Line, Deschutes Series maybe, and Bachelor Series. So look out for both of those. What I suspect though is that Stonebridge is going to be building kind of that third level. They're very comfortable building a higher level home, and that's what they're going to be doing here in this neighborhood. Now, like I mentioned, Stonebridge has about 25 lots in here, and I think they have, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 up and running. They've got the model done, and they have one other that's just about done, ready for sale. DR Horton, on the other hand, they've got 45 homes vertical right now. I think they've only sold a couple, so there's lots of opportunity to get into this neighborhood nice and early while prices are low. So if you're interested in that, drop us a line, we'd love to chat about it. Furthermore, the grand opening of at least the Stonebridge side of this thing is scheduled to happen coming up on the 21st. So depending on when you see this, it may have already happened, or it may be coming up really, really soon. We're actually gonna try to do a little broadcast from here during that grand opening, so look out for that on maybe social media. Now, all that sounds great, but the reality is we still have an affordability crisis here in Bend, right? Which is why I'm very excited about phase 2 of this overall massive project, the next 262 acres. You see, all told, between the 1,700 homes in phase 1 and the 2,400 homes that are basically planned for phase 2, we've got a lot of homes, affordable homes coming. Not to mention 20 acres of the next phase specifically are deed restricted to be for affordable income, for the median area income price. So that means that we're gonna get about 700 units specifically set aside for affordable housing, including special exceptions for teachers and employees of the school district here locally. Now, if you're paying attention, phase 2 was outside of the UGB, but thanks to House Bill 3318, which was passed back in 2021, this particular chunk of land can now be annexed into the UGB. So in 2022, the city did just that, and they annexed the 262 acres into the UGB. The land went up for sale in 2024 with preliminary design plans, and a number of developers are looking at the potential. It has not sold yet, but it probably will soon. So what do you think? This has the potential to be one of the largest master plan developments in the history of Oregon. I think it's really gonna be great to help ease this supply and demand issue we have in the city of Bend, and it's gonna get to help a lot of people be able to move here and call Bend home. If you have any other questions about this development, be sure to drop them down in the chat. We'll see if we can't get to them. And as always, you know the drill. If you or somebody you know is looking to buy or sell here in Bend or Central Oregon area, my team and I would love to be your local real estate resource of choice. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you over in the next video.